Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Cantor.
Good morning.
I'm so glad you're all with us this morning on this very, very important and holy day. Today is Yom Kippur, a very, very special day, and we're really glad that you and the people that you love are with us this morning. We're so delighted to spend some time together singing and praying and learning about this very important day.
So speaking of singing, we are going to warm up our voices with this very special melody. This is a melody that reminds us of our families, and so we are going to sing this together because we want to warm up our loving, comforting voices to be ready for this special day of praying together. So sing with me. Here we go. For the Baruch.
The next prayer that we're going to share together is a prayer to say thank you. We say thank you with this prayer to God for creating the beautiful natural world that we all live in. Maybe right now you're sitting somewhere where you can look out a window or out your door to see the sun shining, the blue sky, maybe some trees or flowers or plants outside. And when you see the beautiful parts of the world outside, I hope that a part of your heart is saying thank you to God for creating this beautiful world for all of us to share. And we say thank you with the Hebrew words of this blessing. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvorei choshech, oseh shalom uvorei et hakol. The next prayer that we offer together is another prayer saying thank you. But with this prayer, we say thank you to God for the rules that are set out for us in the Torah and for the love that helps keep us safe. When we read in our Torah stories, we read all about different kinds of rules that are there to help keep us safe and healthy, but we also read about the way that we are loved by God and by our community. And those are things for us to say thank you for as well. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadata, laws and commandments, rules and limits you have given us. Praised are you, God, you love your people Israel.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. You may be seated. We now invite our youth choir to sing our Veyahta prayer Love Adonai.
Friends, I'd like you to find a picture of people in your family. It might be that you can see a picture from where you're sitting. It might be that you actually have to get up and go and find a picture. But I want you to find a picture of people in your family. And I want you to tell a story to the people who are near you right now about the people in that picture. Who are they? How do they show their love for you? How do you show your love for them? One of the special parts about being at home for this service is we get to be surrounded not only by people we care about, but also these pictures that tell us about our roots, that tell us about where we came from, the people who've taught us important lessons in our lives. And it's our hope that by telling those stories, we can remind ourselves that those roots help us to grow. So as you're hearing this song about our roots and about the ways we grow and about the generations that have come before us, L'Dor V'Dor, I hope we'll share some stories about your roots.
My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down. My trunk stands strong, strong in the wind. My trunk stands strong, strong in the wind. My trunk stands strong, strong in the wind. My trunk stands strong. Are you strong? My trunk stands strong, strong in the wind. My trunk stands strong, strong in the wind. My trunk stands strong, strong in the wind. My trunk stands strong. My seeds, they bring forth new life. My seeds, they bring forth new life. My seeds, they bring forth new life. My seeds, they bring. My seeds, they bring forth new life. My seeds, they bring forth new life. My seeds, they bring forth new life. My seeds, they bring. L'Dor V'Dor.
next prayer is called Unatana Tokef. And it's a prayer about looking at who we are and who we can be. It's a prayer about thinking about what we've done last year and what we want to do this year so that we can be our best selves. And it's a prayer that reminds us that there are things we can do to help make ourselves our best selves. We can do acts of teshuvah, we can do acts of repair and saying we're sorry. We can do acts of tefillah, we can pray and thank God for our blessings. And we can do acts of justice, tzedakah, we can give and help the world, and make the world a better place. So we're going to offer now these words of Unatana Tokef. We hope you'll join us with the words that are on the screen.
Berosh Hashanah Yikatevun Uvyom Tzom Kippur Yechademun Berosh Hashanah Yikatevun Uvyom Tzom Kippur Yechademun.
Today you open the book of life so that we can read what is written on its pages.
Today you ask us to open our hearts and reflect on what we have said and done this past year.
On Rosh Hashanah it is written, and on Yom Kippur it is sealed.
But throughout the year, the book of life is open, and the choices we make leave a mark on our world.
And so we ask ourselves and each other, who will choose to live a good life?
Whose hands will cause hurt and whose hands will help heal?
Who will speak up and who will be silent?
Who will be wise enough to learn from others?
Who will be strong enough to make good choices?
Who will be greedy and who will be grateful?
Who will break people down and who will build people up?
Who will choose to be a blessing? Uteshuvah, utefillah, utzedakah, ma'avirin et roha hagezerah, ma'avirin et roha hagezerah.
We read together, through return to the right path, through prayer and through righteous giving, we can earn a new page in the book of life and write a better story in the new year.
Now is the time for a really important song that we hear every Yom Kippur, and so I want to invite everyone to stand up so we can listen to Avinu Malkenu.
Avinu Malkenu, Avinu Malkenu, Avinu Malkenu, Choneinu Vaneinu, Ki Ein Banu Masim, Asei Emanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, Asei Emanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, ve'hoshienu. Ala shlosha devarim, ala shlosha devarim.
Kedoshim means holy. It's a very special part of the Torah that teaches us how to be holy. We read it today on Yom Kippur because today is a day that we think extra hard about how we behave and act in the world and apologize for times when we acted in ways that hurt other people, the world, or God. We read these words to remind us how God wants us to act. And so we now, before reading from the portion, everyone joins in the opening blessing.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach, Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam vaed, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, venatan lanu et Torato, Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Vayedaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, daber el kol adat bnei Yisrael, ve'amarta alehem kedoshim tiyu, ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohechem.
Now that we have heard the cantor's beautiful chanting of the Hebrew words in the Torah, we invite up our Director of Congregational Learning, Stephanie Carlson, and the Director of the Becker School, Sarah Williams, to lead us in reading to help us understand what the Torah is actually trying to tell us and ways that we can be holy. I invite all the adults watching to read along with Stephanie and all the kids who can read to read along with Sarah.
The Torah says, "You shall be holy because I am holy."
This means we are holy when we act like God.
The Torah says, "Revere your parents."
This means be kind to your parents.
The Torah says, "Keep my Sabbath."
This means celebrate Shabbat and take some time for rest.
The Torah says, "Do not turn to idols, nor make yourself molten gods."
This means pray only to God.
The Torah says, "When you reap the harvest of your land, do not reap all the way to the edges of your field or gather the gleanings of your harvest."
This means take care of the hungry and people who need help.
The Torah says, "You must not steal, you must not act deceitfully, or lie to one another."
This means don't steal, cheat, or lie.
The Torah says, "You must not oppress your neighbor."
This means be nice to the people around you.
The Torah says, "Do not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind."
This means be aware of people with different needs.
The Torah says, "You shall not take vengeance or bear a grudge against members of your people."
This means forgive people and don't stay mad.
The Torah says, "Love your neighbor as yourself."
This means treat others the way you want to be treated.
Now we join together in the blessing after reading Torah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Please rise as we address the Torah.
Dress the Torah, we can dress the Torah. Dress the Torah we can dress. First we put the belt around.
First we put the belt around.
Belt around. Belt around. Oh, dress the Torah, we can dress the Torah. Dress the Torah we can dress. Next we put the cover on.
Next we put the cover on.
Cover on.
Cover on.
Belt around.
Belt around. put the breastplate on.
Breastplate on.
Breastplate on.
Cover on.
Cover on.
Belt around.
Belt around.
Oh, dress the Torah. We can dress the Torah. Dress the Torah we can dress. Next we put the yad upon.
Next we put the yad upon.
Yad upon.
Yad upon.
Breastplate on.
Breastplate on.
Cover on.
Cover on.
Belt around.
Belt around.
Oh, dress the Torah. We can dress the Torah. Dress the Torah we can dress. Next we put the crowns on top.
Next we put the crowns on top.
Crowns on top.
Crowns on top.
Yad upon.
Yad upon.
Breastplate on.
A breastplate on.
Cover on.
Cover on.
Belt around.
Belt around.
Oh, dress the Torah. We have dressed the Torah. Dress the Torah we have dressed. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. In Hebrew, Eitz Chaim hi lamachazikim avetomcheha. Me'ushar Eitz Chaim hi lamachazikim avetomcheha. Me'ushar. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom.
Hi, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the service so far. We're so happy that you're with us. I want to take a few moments now and share a story with you. Would that be okay? I want to tell you a story about my friend Rabbi Fixler. One day, Rabbi Fixler was at the airport, and he had a long time to wait before his plane took off. So he decided to stop in one of the shops in the airport to get a newspaper and a bag of yummy cookies for a little snack on the plane. He found a comfy-looking seat, and he put his things down, and he started to read his paper. And before long, he noticed that a fancy-looking lady had sat down 2 seats away from him, right next to his bag of yummy cookies. Well, he tried to keep paying attention to his newspaper, but then he saw something out of the corner of his eye that he could not believe. That fancy-looking lady, without even saying please, had taken a cookie from his bag. And she was eating it, without even asking permission. Well, my friend Rabbi Fixler is a really nice guy, and he didn't want to make a big deal out of the fact that that fancy lady had turned out to be a cookie thief. So he tried to pay attention to his newspaper and started counting the minutes until it was time for him to get on his plane. And then, you'll never guess what happened next. That fancy lady reached back into the bag of cookies without asking permission again. And she took out another cookie and started eating it. Rabbi Fixler started getting so mad. He didn't know what to do. Should he yell at her? Should he grab his bag of cookies and walk away? Should he demand that she give him an apology? Well, he certainly couldn't pay any attention to his newspaper anymore. While he was deciding what to do you know what happened next? I bet you guessed it. She reached back into the bag, and this time she took out 2 more cookies for herself. And this time she had the nerve to smile at him. She smiled at him. She was pretending to be nice to him. Not only that, she held up the bag and offered it to him. His own bag of cookies. The nerve of that fancy lady. Well, that was it. Rabbi Fixler is a nice guy, but he couldn't take any more. He was so mad at that lady that he grabbed the bag of cookies out of her hand, and he started stuffing cookies into his mouth. All the cookies, one after another. He was just shoving them right into his mouth without stopping, which he knew wasn't a very polite way to eat, but he sure wasn't going to let that lady steal any more of his cookies. He poured every last crumb from that bag of cookies into his mouth, and then he gave her a look that was not very nice. And he folded up his newspaper, and he walked off to his airplane. He couldn't believe how rude that lady had been. She didn't say please, she didn't say thank you, and then she smiled at him. Unbelievable! Well, finally, Rabbi Fixler made his way onto the plane, and he took his seat, and he reached into his backpack to pull out a book to read, and then he couldn't believe his eyes, because there, inside his backpack, was the bag of yummy cookies he had bought himself for a snack. That's where he'd put them, inside his backpack. Which means, he thought to himself, if these are my cookies, then those must have been her cookies. She had put them down next to me when she sat down. She had even offered to share her cookies with me. Well, I feel so terrible, he thought. I was sure that she was doing the wrong thing, and I never even stopped to think that maybe I was doing the wrong thing. I wish I had been more thoughtful. I wish I'd been more polite. I wish I had the chance to apologize.
Oh, well, I hope you enjoyed that story, but I feel so bad for my friend, Rabbi Fixler. Oh, my poor friend. How do you think he felt at the end of that story? I bet he felt really sad and really upset that he didn't get a chance to say he was sorry. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever had a time when you wished you could tell someone you were sorry and you didn't get a chance? Well, I wonder what we can do in this new year to make sure that we don't have those sad feelings anymore. I guess one thing we can do is always to be sure to think about other people's feelings and say we're sorry when someone looks like their feelings are hurt, and see what we can do to take care of all the people around us and be generous with our feelings and with our cookies. Shana Tova, everybody. I hope you have a sweet, happy new year with all the people that you love.
We now come to an important part of Yom Kippur. This ancient prayer is called Ashamnu. It's a way of saying the things we have done wrong as a group. While we sing these words, we tap our hearts gently, like we are asking our hearts to open up, and we think about how we can do better in this new year. Tap, tap, tap your heart. Tap, tap, tap your heart. Tap, tap, tap your heart. On Yom Kippur, it's time to restart. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ashamnu. Ashamnu. Bagadnu. Bagadnu. Gazalnu. Gazalnu. Dibarnu dofi. Dibarnu dofi. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. We've made mistakes. We've made mistakes. We've done bad things. We've done bad things. But this is what the new year brings. The new year brings a chance to change. A chance to change. A chance to grow. A chance to grow. With one first step. With one first step. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. Tap, tap, tap your heart. Tap, tap, tap your heart. Tap, tap, tap Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. We've used bad words.
We've used bad words
And hurt our friends.
and hurt our friends.
But these mistakes are not the end.
Are not the end.
We do teshuvah.
We do teshuvah.
We learn to do good.
We learn to do good.
So we tap our hearts.
So we tap our hearts
To remind us we should.
to remind us we should.
Tap, tap, tap your heart. Tap, tap, tap your heart. Tap, tap, tap your heart. On Yom Kippur, it's time to restart. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay.
Having said these special words, we now have everyone stand up together and you wrap your arms around each other and you show your love as we sing this special blessing from our tradition.
Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May the Lord bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May the light of God's presence shine down upon you and be very sweet and gracious to you.
Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. V'yasem lecha shalom.
May God's goodness always be turned to you and grant you peace.
Well, friends, we've come now to my favorite part of Yom Kippur, our chance to hear the sound of the shofar. But before we listen to the shofar, we have to say some blessings to get ourselves ready to listen to that very important shofar sound.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lishmoa kol shofar.
Wasn't that so cool? What a great morning we've had together. We've been so happy that you've been with us this morning to celebrate Yom Kippur, to be with the people that you love, to hear the songs and say the words that makes this day so holy and special. And now is the time for us to say goodbye.
May you be sealed for a good year, for a sweet year, for a healthy year. May you be written in the book of life. Gemar Chatima Tova. May you be sealed for a good year, for a sweet